Hi beautiful, welcome to my channel. In today's video we are going to be reviewing the new Oden's Christmas collection. These are two brand new limited edition palettes from Oden's, which if you don't know is one of my favorite eyeshadow brands, period. And they are such beautiful palettes. I love that they went all out with like the festive theme of the palettes. This one is called the Merry Christmas palette and this one is called the Christmas Eve palette. You will not believe the color stories. I'll show you them in a second. We'll do swatches, we'll do one look with each one of these, and I simply cannot wait to show you. So if you're excited for today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you're new here, and let's go ahead and get started. First things first, like I mentioned, these palettes are both limited edition for the holiday season and they retail for $43.90 each. And each one of them comes with a little free gift. It is a Christmas themed keychain, which is really cute. They sent over the Christmas Eve one for me and it's got like little charms in there, so this comes free when you purchase your palettes. Also really important, you can get 10% off of these with code PATTY10. So at checkout just put code PATTY10 and it'll knock out 10% off of your palette. You can also use the link I'm leaving you down below in the description box, which I think applies the coupon automatically. So definitely check out the link in the description box, and with code PATTY10 you can get 10% off of your purchase. Now let me go ahead and show you the Merry Christmas palette. Take a look at the absolutely stunning all out Christmas decorations on the outside of this one. Oden's usually kills it with their packaging. I really love the outside of their palettes always. And then once you open the Merry Christmas palette, take a look right here at how stunning things look. This is literally Christmas in a palette, right? It has the reds, the golds, and the greens. No complaints on my part for sure. And knowing Oden's and their amazing eyeshadow formulas, I know that I'm not about to be disappointed with these swatches. So let's go ahead and swatch the Merry Christmas palette. Starting on the first row, we have the color Elf Wish, which is a really stunning light green shimmer. Then we have Matcha Cookies, which is this absolutely stunning green mattes. Jingle Bell, which is a duochrome, very shiny metallic. And New Leaf, which is another greenish shade, but this one has a lot more like blue in it. Let's start with row number 2, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to love this first color. It's called Snowman. Oh my god, look at that stunning shimmer. I do indeed love it. Then we have Best Wish, which is a very light green matte. Christmas Tree, which is a really stunning deep green. And New Year, which is this absolutely incredible green shimmer. We're starting with the warmer colors. On row number 3, this first shade is called Little Star, and it is a really nice peachy shimmer. Then Gingerbread, which is an orangey matte. The color Blessed, which is a stunning fuchsia shimmer, and Poinsettias, I'm hoping I said that right, which is this absolutely incredible red matte. On the last row, we have Hot Cocoa. I should have made my swatches a bit closer together. Then we have All Night, Happy Ending, which is a matte black, and lastly, can it fit in here? Santa Star, which is an absolutely stunning, very, very soft gold. So take a look right here at all of the incredible shades that the Merry Christmas palette has. I am obsessed, and I noticed while I was swatching that it's kind of divided. It has a green palette on top. If you cover this bottom side, it's pure greens up there. And then it has a really stunning warm toned palette at the bottom. So if you need help with what colors go together really nicely, you can always divide it like that. And I think for my look today, I'm going to try maybe to go back and forth between the two. Although I have to admit, I love a lot of the shimmers in the green side of the palette for sure. So now let me go ahead and show you the Christmas Eve palette. Once again, they went all out with the exterior packaging of this one. I don't think I've ever had more Christmas looking palettes than these Christmas looking palettes. Like, they really went in on the Christmas theme. Anyways, when you open this one, it is a much more cooler toned palette, a bit more wearable, I would say, than the greens and the reds over here, and definitely an incredibly stunning color story. I'm already looking at shades in here that I cannot wait to try. So let's go ahead and swatch these. On the first row, we have Snowflake. Wow. That is a really beautiful silver shade. Then we have Ice Crystal, which is a matte gray. We have Silver Dream. I love this type of color right here. That looks incredible. And then the fourth shade is Nightfall, which is a matte blue. On the second row, we have the shade Just Now, which is this fun looking green. And then Snow Light, which is a very light gold. Christmas Eve, which is a really deep matte blue shade, looks really beautiful, and Blue Eyes, which, just like it sounds, it's an icy blue. Row number 3, we have Filting Time, which is a bronzy gold, very creamy shade. Nowhere, which is this really stunning cool toned purpley matte. Wonderful, which is a shimmer purple, and the last color is Softly, which is a poopy brown. I don't know how to describe that one. Mustardy, mid-tone brown, we'll say, with a little bit of green in there. I think the last row is going to be my favorite. We have shades Limub Tard, which is this really nice, fun matte yellow. We have Gorgeous, which is a stunning multi-chromatic, super shifty shade. Then we have Night Sky, which is like a very intense teal shade. And lastly, the color Blue Star, which is the one that I've been wanting to swatch the most because I love me a really stunning midnight, very intense shimmer blue. So take a look right here at the absolutely stunning shades in this Christmas Eve palette right here. I love these color combinations, and if you want to see them side by side to kind of compare color stories, here are both palettes swatched. Alright, so we're about to begin the look with the Merry Christmas palette, and I already did it on this side because I really wasn't sure like what to do at all, so I needed a minute. And I just decided to do it over here to then replicate it on this eye and show you overall. I'm very happy with the way things turned out. Definitely a very festive look. And I tried to use as many colors as I could. So while I would totally wear this look out, I did it with the intention of using as many shades as possible. So, you know, keep that in mind if it's a bit too shimmery or a bit too over the top for you. First things first, with a big fluffy brush. This one is my REPHR number 15, the color Best Wishes, and I tapped this one on the upper side of the outer half of the crease of my eye, so right up here, just tapped it and blended it up into the crease area. This is a very light pastel green shade. So then with the same brush, I grabbed the color Matcha Cookies and I applied this one all throughout the crease of my eye, back and forth, making sure to blend it all the way in here and into that first color I applied back here. With a smaller brush, this one is my REPHR number 14, I'm going to grab a bit more of the color Matcha Cookies and I'm going to apply it to the inner third of my eyelid, blending it into the crease ever so slightly. And then with this same brush, I'm going to grab Happy Ending down here and tap it on the outer corner of my eyelid and then blend it into the crease shade ever so slightly. Once I applied it, I switched to my bigger brush to diffuse and I just did a bunch of little circles over that super dark black shade so I could more easily blend it into the Matcha Cookies shade because it is so pigmented. Alright, here's how things are looking so far, and I ended up concentrating mostly on the top side of the palette because it was honestly the most interesting side to me and the side that I wanted to play with the most. So with a flat brush, this one is my REPHR number 28 in the color New Year, I'm going to just grab a bit of it and I am tapping it over the edge of the black shade back here. Then with another flat brush, also a REPHR number 28, I grabbed the color Snowman because this was the color that I was dying to play with in this palette for sure, or one of them actually. Jingle Bell is another one and I didn't use it at all. So I have Snowman on my brush and I'm going to tap it all throughout the center of my eyelid, building it up ever so slightly. And these colors are not only shiny but very, very sparkly, as you can see, which I love. With the same brush, I'm grabbing a bit of Elf Wish and I'm going to tap it right here over the inner edge and then also on the inner corner of my eye. This one is a super, super shiny shade and I'm blending it in ever so slightly here. So that is the top of the eye right there. For the bottom, with a REPHR number 3, I used the super dark shade and I smoked it in halfway. And then with a teeny tiny blending brush and matcha cookies, I am smoking that shade out and also applying it the rest of the way in by swiping back and forth underneath my eye. As you can see, even though it doesn't necessarily have a ton of fallout, I do have some scattered sparkles around my face, which I feel like they're so pigmented and so soft, it's kind of unavoidable. So I would definitely recommend that you do your eyes before the rest of the makeup if you want to avoid that. I'm going to try to dust them off. We'll see how that works. But to finish up the eye look, I'm grabbing this very intense green eyeliner and putting it in my waterline. So take a look right here at my look with the Merry Christmas palette. I'm going to put on some mascara and lashes and I'll be right back to show you the final results. I also need some bronzer and blush actually. Let me just be right back. So after some mascara and some lashes, I'm back to show you the final look with the Merry Christmas palette, which I loved. All of the shades in here were great. Everything seemed so pigmented, everything blended so seamlessly, and I do love me some sparkle. So I'm obsessed with the way that this look came out. This is Christmas in a palette right here, and I feel like my eye look today couldn't possibly be more festive. I am obsessed with the glitz, I'm obsessed with the mattes. This palette has an incredible combination between mattes and shimmers. The formulas are great. If you like this color story, 100% go for it. If you've tried Oden'S Eyes eyeshadows before, you know that they are amazing, and if you haven't, you definitely should try Oden'S Eyes eyeshadows. They have some of the best formulas out there, and for how good these shades and these formulas are, the palettes are very reasonably priced. So I highly recommend that you try Oden'S Eye. This palette is pretty great. We are about to try the other one to see if we like that one better or not, but I'm obsessed and I knew that they wouldn't disappoint. If anyone wants a closer look, take a look right here at my eyeshadow. I love it. I'm back and it's time to do our look with the Christmas Eve palette right here. Once again, I already did it on this eye and I'm just going to recreate it over here. I kind of love this. I combined a lot of different sparkles just like I did with the first one, but I feel like, I don't know, I'm kind of digging it. So let's go ahead and start, and the first thing I'm doing is with a big fluffy brush, I'm grabbing the color Nowhere, and this color is fantastic. It is such a stunning cool toned purpley shade and it works so well all over the crease of the eye. As you can see, it can pack a punch, right? But it also blends out super seamlessly. So I just blended out these upper edges here and I used it as my transition shade slash crease shade because it just kind of worked so nicely for both things. And I'm also adding it on the outer third of my eyelid here as a base for the next shade. So with a smaller blending brush, my REPHR number 14, I'm grabbing the color Night Sky, which is like a very deep teal shade, and I am patting it on the outer third of my eyelid here. And then with the tip of it, slowly I'm starting to blend it upwards into the crease. Back with my big fluffy brush, I'm going to back and forth, make sure that the shades blend really well into one another here. Let's begin with the sparkles with a flat REPHR number 28. I'm grabbing the color Blue Star and I'm going to tap this color right over the edge of the matte shades, just like this. Then I'm going to switch that brush to the other side and I'm grabbing the color Gorgeous here, which I had been dying to use, and this is the shade I'm tapping all over the center of my eyelid, just tapping here. With a different flat brush, I'm grabbing the color Blue Eyes and I'm putting it on the inner corner of the eye and blending it up into the crease ever so slightly with the tip of the brush. I wanted a nice icy effect up there. And I'm doing things kind of exactly as I did the first time around to kind of show you my thought process. So when I was at this step, I was like, I need something in between Gorgeous and the blue icy shade. So with the other side of my flat brush, I grabbed Snowflake, which is one of these very nice chunky shades and the most beautiful silver. And I applied it to the inner third of my eyelid here. Blended it slightly in. So take a look right there. That's the top half of the Christmas Eve eyeshadow look. I love it. With a very deep blue eyeliner from Glossier, I'm doing the waterline of my eye here. And I put a bit more Snowflake on the tip of a REPHR number 2 and I swiped it a third of the way under my eye. Back to the color Night Sky with a REPHR number 3 brush, and I'm doing the outer half of my under eye with it. Nice and smoky back here. As you can see, I don't have any concealer on or anything, so I'm going to just wipe off my mess that I created down here. I took my own advice and didn't apply concealer before starting this look since I knew that some of these could be a little bit flaky. And they're not horribly flaky, but I'm also not necessarily being the most careful with them. Anyways, before I smoke out my lower lash line, I'm going to put on my concealer and carefully blend it throughout the under eye area without touching the eyeshadow. To smoke out the lower lash line with the REPHR number 13 and the color Nowhere, I'm just going to swipe things back and forth down here. And this gorgeous, colorful, smoky thing right here, also sparkly, is the eye look I created with the Christmas Eve palette. So let me show you what this looks like with some mascara and lashes. Anyone want to see it up close? Take a look right here. And back with mascara and lashes on, this is my final look with the Christmas Eve palette. I just really love the shade Gorgeous in the center. It is a stunning multi-chrome color. The deeper blue shimmer on the outer corner, the silver, the icy blue shade, the smokiness, literally everything about this eye look I love. And so obviously with the swatches that we saw, with how beautifully all of these shades perform in this fantastic color story, I also highly recommend this Christmas Eve palette. If you were to ask me to pick between the two, between the Christmas Eve palette and the Merry Christmas palettes, I think I would do the Christmas Eve palette. The reason being that I feel like this is the more unique of the two color stories, plus I do love me some really nice cool-toned smoky shades. The sparkles in this palette are incredible, and the Gorgeous color is such a stunning multi-chrome. I think this one, just because it's a bit more different for me, is the one that I would go for. But that's definitely not to say that the Merry Christmas palette isn't also incredible. So please let me know down below which of the two palettes was your favorite. Are you going for the Christmas Eve palette or the Merry Christmas palette, or are you going for both? Don't forget to let me know down there. I want to know what you're picking out. Also, don't forget to use the discount code PATTY10 if you want to get 10% off of your purchase. Whether it be these palettes or anything else on the Oden'S website, you can get 10% off by using the code PATTY10 or the link I'm leaving you down in the description box of this video. I really hope you guys liked this review, the swatches, the looks, etc. If you did, don't forget to give my video a thumbs up before you leave, and if you're new to my channel, please don't leave without subscribing. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you back in the next video. Bye bye.